Hey, what's going on everyone? Josh Quinones here, and this right here behind me is my first ever 75-inch TV, and let me tell you, I have been enjoying it because I've never had a TV this big before. You know, I've gone with the 65 inches before, which I thought was big, but when you go to the 75-inch, it's going to look massive, but it's going to look great. So this behind me is the TCL Q6 75-inch 4K QLED TV, and huge thanks to TCL for actually sending this out for us to take a look at here on the channel. Now, I did already review the Q6, but in a different model. So this one right here is the Google integrated model. And the one that I reviewed before is the Fire TV model. So there's not too much of a difference between the two. It's really just the operating systems. But when they asked me if I wanted to check this out, I said, heck yeah, let me go ahead and check out the Google model to see if there really is any big difference. And one of the big differences is the size. Again, this is the 75-inch, and this one is currently going for around $600 right now. I'll leave a link down in the description below in case you do find yourself interested in this specific model right here, the specific size, or any of the other sizes. They also have a 55-inch, a 65-inch, and an 85-inch, all at great prices. So the Q6 right here does support Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. It's also got a motion rate 240 and a gaming accelerator 120, which is really going to come in handy when gaming on this TV right here. But we'll talk about that a little bit later in the video because I have actually really been enjoying gaming on this big screen TV right here. But let's go ahead and talk about the overall just build quality and design of this TV. So just, you know, watching content on this TV, just staring at it straight on from the front, honestly, it does not look like a cheap TV at all, even though this is a mid-range TV and it is the lower end model of the Q series, because you know you got the Q6, the Q7, and the QM8. Honestly, just looking at it straight on, it does not look like a cheap TV. It actually looks pretty premium. Now, I will say that the legs on the bottom are of a plastic build, but they kind of painted them in a way to where they kind of look metal from a distance. But the nice thing about the legs is that you have the option to either put them closer in or further out from each other. That way, if you have a smaller TV stand, it can easily fit on that smaller TV stand, or if you have a bigger TV stand, then you can go ahead and put those legs wider, further away from each other. That way, it'll kind of look better with that bigger TV stand. Now me, if I have the legs wider like I have them now, as you can see, it just barely fits on there. And I kind of like the look of having the legs wider, but it's nice that TCL gives us that option. And also on the bottom of the TV are the speakers as well. We'll talk about sound in a little bit, but going to the back of the TV, this is where it doesn't look as premium as the front. You know, everything is kind of exposed. It's not like with the QM8 where it's just kind of like one flat panel in the back covering everything. No, in the back of the Q6 here, you can kind of see everything along with the ports as well. And when it comes to those ports in the back, we're getting a USB 2.0 input. We're getting an Ethernet input. We get 3 HDMI inputs, with one of those being an EARC input. We get a cable antenna input. We get an optical audio out. We get a adapter for AV in, and also a headphone jack as well, which can be pretty nice if you want to just easily hook up some cheap speakers to enhance the sound, you know, coming from this TV right here, if you don't want to use those internal speakers. And then we also have one physical button down at the bottom front under the TCL logo. But overall, I mean, I think the looks of the TV is very nice, especially for the price. Now, let's go ahead and talk about just the overall picture quality of this TV right here. Honestly, I think the picture quality is actually really good. We're still getting some good detail, even though it's not, you know, as good as something like the higher end model of the QM8. We're still getting some nice, good, sharp detail when it comes to the picture. We're still getting some good colors, you know, depending on what picture mode you are using. We do have picture modes like vivid, we have low power, we got a sports mode, we got a movie mode, a game mode, and then we also have a smart HDR mode. And not only that, but we also have a Dolby bright mode and a Dolby dark mode, which, you know, the brightness will work great with, you know, certain kind of movies, and the dark mode will work great with other kind of movies. Me personally, when it's during the day, I will use that Dolby brightness, and then when it's later on at night, when I don't need the screen super bright, I will go ahead and just turn it down to Dolby dark. That way it's not, you know, super bright in my eyes. But overall, I mean, I think picture quality is great. The mode that I specifically use most of the time is either Vivid, Smart HDR, or Dolby Brightness. Or like I said, if it's nighttime, then I will use the Dolby Dark mode. But on this 75-inch TV right here, it's really hard not to enjoy the content that you're watching, because it kind of gives you that, you know, big theater experience, especially if you don't have a huge living room. Like for me right here, as you can see, I don't have the biggest living room, so this TV kind of looks extra big here into this living room. Now, of course, if you have a bigger living room, it might not look as big, but for my living room right here, it actually looks pretty big. big and it takes up a big portion over there against that wall. But me personally, I just think it looks really, really nice. So picture quality, I mean, for the price that you're paying for this TV, honestly, looks really good. Now, when it comes to sound, because of course, not only are you going to want your picture to look good, but you're going to want your sound to sound good as well to make your, movie watching experience, just a lot better. Now, I will say with the internal speakers on this TV right here, they actually do get pretty loud. They have actually, I was actually surprised about the sound that we get from the internal speakers on this TV right here. Now, they're not the best sounding speakers that I've ever heard, coming from a TV. There is no, built-in subwoofer to this TV either, like the higher end models, but I mean, the sound is acceptable. It is pretty decent. It is going to get you through a movie or a TV show or just content on YouTube or whatever it is you are watching. The sound is acceptable. Now, I do recommend getting a sound bar with maybe some extra speakers if you do want to, enhance your sound and just, get an overall better experience when it comes to sound and watching content on this TV. You're always going to be better, going with a sound bar. But if you don't want to dish out the extra money, honestly, the sound, like I said, the sound coming out of this TV right here, it is acceptable. The speakers are loud and you're still getting a clear sound. You're just not going to get a super, low end bassiness. For someone like me, I like that. So with the QM8 that comes with that, built-in subwoofer, it's nice because it gives you a little bit more low end, a little bit more bassiness. So you can kind of, feel what you're watching, especially in those action scenes when it comes to certain movies. But like I said, the speakers here on the Q6, they are acceptable and they're gonna give you some pretty good, decent sound. Now, when it comes to gaming here on the TCL Q6, I will say that gaming has actually been very enjoyable, again, because of this big screen right here. But even though this is a native 60 Hertz display, we actually can get up to 120 frames per second if you're playing at a lower resolution. So if you plan on playing games at 4K resolution, you're gonna be stuck at 60 frames per second. But if you lower down that resolution, you can get up to 120 frames per second if you have something like your PS5 plugged in or your Xbox or even a PC. So it's nice that we're able to get those higher frame rates even on the lower end model of the Q6 right here. We do have that gaming accelerator. Now, there is no dedicated gaming bar like what we see with the higher end models, but it's still nice that we have, these gaming features to enhance our gameplay here on the Q6 and just make the gaming experience just more enjoyable. So I think when it comes to having a budget gaming TV, I mean, this can actually be a really good option if you don't want to pay, a couple $100 more for a higher end TV. This one will still give you a nice gaming experience, even at that lower price point, especially for a casual gamer. I know for a casual gamer like myself, I really enjoy the experience here on the Q6. It definitely gets me through a game just fine. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this is a Google integrated TV, so of course we are going to be greeted with that Google UI once we do power on the TV. And it's not like anything we haven't seen before. If you've used a Google TV before, then you pretty much already know what to expect, when, using a Google TV. I will say that when scrolling through this TV, it's not the smoothest that I've ever experienced on a TV. It's not laggy. I wouldn't really say laggy, but it kind of skips a little bit here and there. So if I'm scrolling, it'll kind of stop and skip real quick and then start scrolling smooth again and then stop and skip again and then start scrolling again. And there's just those times of, I guess you would say, latency when scrolling through the TV. Sometimes it'll work really smooth where it won't do that. And then sometimes there will be moments of skippiness throughout the TV. So I do have to go ahead and mention that. But of course, like I said, this is a mid-range TV, so I wasn't really expecting it to be as smooth as something like the Q7 or the QM8. And it's not something either that's going to make me, want to throw this TV out the window or anything like that. It's not like that. It's just little moments of skippiness when scrolling through the TV. But of course, you're going to get all of your options for, different apps that they recommend, different shows. And of course, you are going to be able to download all of the Google apps that Google provides through their Play Store here on the TV. So, I mean, just the overall user experience when just scrolling through the UI, it is acceptable and works just fine. And you also have the voice assistant as well. You can easily just press the button on your remote and search up whatever it is that you need to search up. And speaking of the remote, which I have right here, now this remote actually reminds me exactly of the remote that we get with the TCL QM8. It looks exactly the same. I mean, we're getting our power button, the voice assistant button, settings. We get, the arrow pad to help us, scroll through the TV. We have the home button, volume, power buttons. We get our dedicated buttons down at the bottom for Netflix, Prime Video, YouTube, TCL channel, TCL Home, and the Apple TV dedicated button as well. So it's pretty much exactly the same as the QM8, but the only difference is that this remote right here does not have backlit button. So if you're trying to find your button in the dark, you're gonna have to maybe shine a little bit of light on there unless you've memorized where all the buttons are. But if not, you are going to, have to shine a little bit of light on them to see what button you're gonna press, in order to turn up the volume or turn it down. But there are, kind of little dots on here that are going to help you find those buttons. But when it comes to like the home button and the menu button, sometimes I get those mixed up. I want to press the menu button, but I accidentally press the home button and it takes me back home, from the show I was watching. Then I got to go back into either Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever it is I was watching. And then I press that menu button again to switch up whatever settings I was trying to switch up. So that little thing right there could be an annoyance. It would have been nice if we had some backlit buttons, but again, this isn't their higher end model. So again, just something I can understand. To get that price down to where it's at, they have to make cuts here and there, and one of the cuts was here in the remote by not giving us those backlit buttons. Now, going back to the display of the TV here, one thing that I do want to mention is the brightness. It is a full backlit panel, so the brightness is actually pretty good on this TV. Now, it's not the brightest TV I've ever seen, but it does get decently bright. Now, I will say, if you do have windows right next to your TV and you got the sun beaming in, like I do right here, I got 2 windows right next to the TV right here. If I have those blinds completely open with the sun beaming through, I do find the need for the TV to be a bit brighter. So naturally, I will close the blinds or at least shut them a little bit, and then the TV is just more than bright enough for me. And it's gonna be like that with any home, at least in my opinion. Now, this is just based off of my own experience here in my living room right here. And if the blinds are just a little bit open with the sun kind of coming through, the TV is still more than bright enough for me. It's not until I have the sun just fully beaming into the living room right here where I will find the need for the TV just to be a bit brighter. But overall, I mean, I think the TV is more than bright enough. Now, when it comes to viewing angles, of course, the best viewing experience is going to be directly in the center of the TV. But if you do happen to sit off to the side of the TV, yeah, the colors will look just a little bit washed out compared to where if you're sitting in the center of the TV, but you will still be able to perfectly see the picture that is being shown on the TV. Even if you stand way over to the side, you can still see what's going on, at least for me. So overall, the viewing angles on this TV are actually pretty good. Now, I know I really didn't talk about, I didn't go too deep into the specs with this TV right here. Honestly, I'm not really a spec guy. I just really wanted to share what my overall experience has been like with this TV with all of you here on the channel. And that's basically what I like to do when it comes to my reviews, is just share what my overall real life experience is with these products. And my overall experience with this TV right here has been pretty good so far. And I definitely think that the TCL Q6 right here at 75 inches is definitely worth the price that it is going for. And again, I'll leave a link down in the description below in case you do find yourself interested in this TV, either at the 75 inches right here, 65, 85, or even a 55 inch. But that is it, y'all. Let me know what you think down in the comment sections below. If you have a TV like this for yourself, how's it treating you? Or if you plan on getting one, did this video help you out? I hope it did. Thank you so very much for watching. If you did like this video and find it helpful, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any other future videos to come. If you want to see other videos I have on TVs, especially other TCL TVs, I have a link for those videos down in the description below so you can check them out as well. Thank you all so very much for watching. This is Josh Quinones. I will see you on the next one. Peace out.